as the former 45th president, soon to be 47th president, Donald Trump is wrapping up, making his appointments. We've seen some names that are wild within itself. So, I mean, look at some of the names that Donald Trump has appointed so far for his cabinet. So, the White House Chief of Staff is Susie Wiles. The Secretary of State is Marco Rubio. The Attorney General is Matt Gaetz, a man who has been alleged to have been involved in sex trafficking with underage girls. And I've been on him from Jump Street, and I will continue to be on that Bama because that Bama should be in jail. Especially considering his homeboy, his roadie, Joe Greenberg, is doing time in the bean for the same thing. Then you got Deputy Attorney General Todd Blatch, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, the UN Ambassador Elise Stefanik, an opportunist, Border Czar is Tom Homan, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, a guy who has been alleged to been involved in sexual assault, Secretary of Veterans Affairs Doug Collins, right, the former congressman out of Georgia, he's back in our lives again. Kirsty Norm, she's the Secretary of Homeland Security. This is the woman who shot and killed her dog and then put it in a book. CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Mike Huckabee is the U.S. Ambassador to Israel, right? Department of Government Efficiency with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, right? None of those people have the American public's best interests at heart. All these guys are not more than opportunists and self-serving professional bullshit artists that wants their place in close proximity to power. Now, a famous rapper at one time told me that when you're on the inside looking out, it's hard to see the people that's on the outside looking in. Which brings us to these two. Now, these two prominent black folks within the Republican Party have been going on this campaign for Donald Trump. I mean, they was out here laying the butter biscuits on thick. If you follow this channel for any length of time, I've been on these two like how Mo be on the shower curtain. Now, we're going to take a trip down memory lane and we're going to see some of these two buffoons' greatest hits. There's a lot of them, but for the sake of this video and for the time constraints, I'm only going to limit it to like a few. I'm not trying to stress this thing out any longer because at this point, you should get the idea, right? So let's start with resident buffoon who's in the Senate, Tim Scott. Now, Tim Scott is the chair of the National Republican Senate Committee. Well, guess what, Tim Scott? That's not a cabinet position. Now, let's get to it. Let's look at some of Tim Scott's greatest hits. DJ, spin that shit.
Did you ever think that she actually appointed you, Tim? And think of it, appointed, and you're the senator of his state, and she endorsed me. You must really hate her. No, it's a shame. It's a shame. Uh-oh.
I just love you.
No, that's why he's a great politician.
Vamos!
Let's see more of Tim Scott's buffoonery in motion. DJ, spin that shit.
I know this is going to offend the liberal elites. Every time I say it, it offends them. But let me say it one more time. America is not a racist country.
Okay, let's look at one more clip of Tim Scott buffoonery in motion. DJ, spin that shit.
I can't believe the hoax, this sham, this absolute injustice justice system. D.A. Bragg and the judge should be ashamed of themselves. This isn't just ridiculous. This actually erodes the confidence that Americans have in the justice system. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. But good news is coming. D.A. Bragg, hear me clearly. You cannot silence the American people. You cannot stop us from voting for change. Joe Biden's injustice, Joe Biden's two-tier injustice system, weaponizing the justice system of the United States of America against a political opponent, un-American. Joe Biden, you're fired. We the people stand with Donald Trump.
What's up, Mike Lewis? Yeah, I should have played that first one, but I couldn't find that clip, so I had to do what I could with what I had. But hey, Tim Scott, look, you're a buffoon, okay? First, you led us astray last year, trying to have us figure out who the hell you was dating or whatever like that, more like who you've been paying off. And then when we finally found out who you was dating or whatever, it was a flat-chested, flat-booty, having-ass woman who looks like a discount Charlotte Flair, who's older, more grizzled, and she got 3 grown snot-nosed kids who be calling you a nigga up under their breath. But you decided to marry her in Charleston, South Carolina on that fateful Saturday, the same night as SummerSlam, right? You decided to marry this woman. All the meanwhile, her husband's in jail right now on some illicit charges or whatever, right? Her ex-husband. But that's what Tim Scott wanted to marry, right? You wanted to be up there with the Burgess Owens and the Byron Donalds. Don't worry, motherfucker. We gonna get to your punk ass next. And the Wesley Hunts, right? You guys want to sit up here, running around here with white wives and all that. But y'all sitting up here talking about black families. If you don't get y'all asses out of here. Now, again, Tim Scott, where's your cabinet position at? You was out here laying them butter biscuits on thick, on top of each other. And you did not even get a cabinet position. Did you not learn from Simone Sanders? You sat there looking at, observing the Democrats all the time. You didn't learn from Simone Sanders. Simone Sanders was out here doing all that shucking and jiving, tackling people like she auditioning for the Dallas Cowboys and shit. And what'd she get? Did she get a cabinet position? Did she get White House press secretary? No, she did not. That right there should have told you right there that if the Democrats would do it to their own, the Republicans would do it to you. And yet you went all these shows, The View, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, all these, just laying them butter bitches on thick because you wanted a shot at being his VP. Well, you didn't get that. And now you ain't even get a cabinet position. You just out here just being a big-time loser. Did all that buck asses shucking and jiving and sharpshooting just to become a National Republican Senate chair? What? You ought to feel disgusted right now. But knowing your slimy ass, you're not disgusted. You just are glad that Trump was even to give you the pleasure and the fortunate privilege of giving you some crumbs off the table. Then we go to Byron Donalds, right? Byron Donalds, another one who running around here dressed like Trump, going all the way up to New York to support and defend him in the midst of his trial, where he was eventually became a 34-time convicted felon, right? He went to goddamn Philadelphia alongside Wesley Hunt with that Congress cigars and Congress cognac and cigars. It sounded more like Coca-Cola cracker conspiracies. But he was out there in Philadelphia talking about Jim Crow and how Jim Crow was this and how Jim Crow was that, and black families held together during Jim Crow. All the meanwhile, black people couldn't even vote during Jim Crow. You stupid motherfucker. Anyway, let's look at some of Byron Donald's greatest hits. DJ, spin that shit.
America, hold on, Keith. The reality in America is that crime is massively up.
Crime is not massively
Yes,
up.
it
That's a
is.
lie.
You can bring the table all you want, but
You're
that's not
lying,
true.
Congressman. You're lying.
We already know that there are
the
cities.
FBI just released data this week that crime is going down.
You already know that.
Oh my God! Why do you, Abby? Why do you let this man lie on your national television like this? This is not right.
You may not
You're a
want
liar,
you may not,
Congressman.
no, I'm
You're
not,
lying
because you're lying to the American people now. And so I want to be respectful of what you're trying to say.
Hang on a second.
Go ahead.
You would just let me talk. Hold on.
It's not silly when people.
We have to, Congressman,
I'm sorry.
give me
I'm sorry,
1 second,
Abby.
please.
Go ahead. Of course.
We have to deal in facts here.
Thank you.
Okay? It's clear as day. The FBI put out statistics for 2023. The trend line is going down. If you don't believe the FBI, independent people who look at these numbers say the same thing. There was a spike in crime during the pandemic. That is true. Nobody's disputing that. But the reality is that crime is going down. You don't have to twist the facts to make the case that people feel unsafe. Just say people feel unsafe.
Okay, you see Byron Donaldson there carrying water, lying for Donald Trump, all that, right? So where's your cabinet appointment at Byron Donalds? Let's look at another clip. DJ, spin that shit.
What's your reply to folks inside your tent that have doubts?
What I would say to the people inside the tent, and it's typically the people who are Washington-centric, two things. Number one, we have already proven that with Donald Trump's tax policy, which is still current law today, that you could cut marginal rates and actually grow revenue into the federal treasury. We are raising more revenue at any other point in American history right now in the United States. Couple that with tariff policy, and I will add, these are not just broad-based tariffs. These are strategic tariffs to make sure that the United States has the right amount of manufacturing and key critical jobs in the United States to protect industries in the United States. We also have to acknowledge, and this is for some of our Republican colleagues, that the years of these trade deals that are not enforced when these countries are taking advantage of us, meaning they're taking advantage of the American worker, those days have to come to an end. And so tariff policy, in part, is making sure that the free trade deals we've signed are actually operating to the mutual benefit of both countries. It can't just be to the benefit of other countries to the detriment of the United States. Tariff policy helps to enforce that while also making sure our people here in the United States have good paying jobs to feed themselves, feed their families.
Bunch of fucking lies. Just a bunch of fucking bullshit. Just carrying water for this man. And again, when Trump got shot early this year, it literally came within an inch of dying. And he held up that fist, and people like, yeah. I mean, those racist rules out there, I mean, they went ballistic over that shit, right? And then when Trump later on told me, we're going to go right back to Butler, Pennsylvania, because we got unfinished business, and here this clown go. Here this buffoon go. This is true leadership. The fuck out of here. See, this is what happens when you two dumbasses go out here carrying water for these white folks, and this is how they repay you. This is exactly how they repay you. They leave you on the outside looking in. And what would your be response to that? Oh, you're just being a liberal. Or you must be one of the Democrats that's salty because Kamala Harris lost. Newsflash, idiot. I didn't vote for her ass. Because I don't support the Democrats. I don't support Republicans. Because as far as I'm concerned, you guys are two wings on the same bird, different fangs on the same snake. And this is how they repay you for all that buck dancing, all that shucking and jiving, all that butter biscuit eating, all that sharpshooting, cooning, buffooning, and selling the soap and carrying water. This is what happened to you. Y'all got left on the outside looking in. Y'all ain't got no cabinet appointments. None. But, hey, let these, coons on the right tell it, hey, Trump ain't no racist. Let these buffoons tell it. Hey, no, Trump's dues good for the black man. You just got to believe in Trump. Now, how come these two prominent voices in the Republican Party, so-called prominent voices in the Republican Party, ain't got no cabinet appointments? So we got sexual deviants, we got liars, we've got a dog killer, but we don't got no black representation within Trump's cabinet. Make it make sense. We got a guy who's going to be the attorney general, allegedly trafficking 17-year-old pussy across state lines and paying them off via Cash App and Venmo, but he gets to get a cabinet position. Now, Tim Scott head looks like that Whopper I got on Thursday night when I was at Burger King. At Burger King, I will never forgive y'all for that. Y'all give me a Whopper with no fucking sesame seeds on the, shame on you. That motherfucker looked like the top of Tim Scott's head. Tim Scott went out and married a white girl with a pancake ass who don't even really love him. She only with him because he's paying her. And he can't get no cabinet position. Byron Donalds went out here dressed like Donald Trump. Some people had the notion that he could possibly be Trump's VP. And what did he get? I mean, he was out there being all articulate, being all detail-oriented. Oh, he speaks so well. All the racist rubes out there that look at this pet Negro, right? Like Byron Donalds, and they say, oh, he speaks so well. He's so well-spoken. And this is what they do to him, right? Now, for context, this was during the vote for confirmation of a White House, not White House Speaker, for Speaker of the House. When Republicans were infighting on who should be Speaker of the House. Remember, they went like 15 rounds and they eventually landed on Kevin McCarthy, right? And then Matt Gaetz get a hair up his ass because he couldn't get the ethics committee to stop the ethics probe on Matt Gaetz, and Matt Gaetz went and put in that motion to vacate, and he was successful in that motion to vacate. That's why Kevin McCarthy is no longer in Congress. So yeah, man, you two stupid motherfuckers, man. Hey, you only got yourselves to blame. This is the price you pay for the games you play. So I feel absolutely nothing for you. You two buck dancers can kick rocks and eat hot shit for all I care. You big dummies. You guys let me know what y'all think, man. If you're not subscribing to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Two stupid dogs. Last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hurry.